Hello, and welcome to Fortress, Alaska. I'm your host, Dave, and today we're going to be talking about this Walther PPK, which was courtesy of Delta Airlines. Yes, in a roundabout way, Delta Airlines bought me an original 1941 Walther PPK made in Germany. So let's talk about this pistol and how I acquired it. This is the complete setup that I purchased, which I got from Legacy Collectibles. So not an ad for them, I'm just telling you where I obtained it. Anyways, as I said, this is a 1941 Walther PPK civilian version, not military. If you look closely, you will see that it has no Waffen-proof marks, nothing other than the eagle end stamps, which you can see right there. Serial number range puts it into 1941. So this pistol was probably purchased by some government official or an officer who could afford to buy his own pistol, or even an enlisted person who might have been able to afford to buy his own pistol. The Walther PPK was extremely popular with the German soldiers and the German military and German politicians and German bank workers and all kinds of German people. So anyways, so this is the rig that I got, complete with the holster and the second magazine. Magazines aren't numbered to the gun, but they are period correct. So that's the basics that we start with. The Walther PPK, as you see here, is a 32 ACP, which during World War II was the most common caliber by far. The 32 is what this gun was designed around. Well, actually, originally in 1929, it was designed for the Walther PP. The PPK stands for Police Pistol Criminel, which translates to English like a police investigator's pistol, as opposed to a regular police pistol, which is the Walther PP. Common calibers are 22 long rifle, 25 ACP, 32 ACP, and 380. Now I say that as common calibers, but the 25 is actually extremely rare. If you happen to find one, you found a true trophy. Anyways, my speculation on this is this was a bringback from World War II, as it is an original German gun with no import marks. There's no bringback papers, but that's the only way you get a pistol into this country without import marks is to have brought it back from the war. It might have been brought back by a soldier anytime after World War II ended, whenever it was still legal in that law. I'm not sure when that changed. The holster we have here is old. There's no doubt about that. It is marked Walther PPK. The other thing it has in it is it has markings here from December 7th, 1945. I'm suspicious of that ink because it's extremely well done in there. Someone might have gone over the original markings to make it clearer, but I highly doubt that inking is from 1945. I would have suspected that it would have been faded greatly and soaked into the leather after all these years. What I think happened is someone either put it in after the fact or they went over the old markings to make it show better. It doesn't really matter. This, while a collectible pistol, this is not, the highly sought after with the Waffen-Amps and other things. This was a privately purchased pistol that was probably brought back from World War II. Here you can see what it would have looked like with the pistol in its holster. So this is extremely old leather. I don't want to mess around with it too much. But I personally am a fan of the flap holster. Let's face it, for military purposes, and actually for most purposes, you don't need to be a quick draw artist. And a flap holster gives you far more protection than an open holster. I personally think, from my time in the military, that a flap holster is still a better holster, depending on what you do. Most people use their rifle as their primary weapon and the pistol as a backup. So I'd rather have my pistol totally protected and not risk any chance of it falling out, getting filled with dirt and grime and all kinds of other stuff. But so this is what it looks like all closed up. Then when you open it up and there you have the second magazine and the pistol. The slap opens for easy removal of the Walther PPK. Now, many people think of the Walther PPK as the James Bond gun. I would, however, like to point out that if you actually watch the original movie or read the original book, James Bond starts off with a Beretta 418 and 25 ACP. totally inefficient for any real use. A 25 ACP is not a gun for someone who would actually need to shoot. It's not even better than a 22 long rifle. So while Ian Fleming's books may be good books, Ian Fleming's original choice of guns there was not very good. But even the 32 ACP would not be the first choice by today's standards. And I'm going to go into why calibers were smaller back then, and at least my theory of it, in just a moment. Many of you have noticed that calibers, by and large, were not nearly as powerful, nor nearly as large, especially in Europe, as they are today. And I have a couple basic theories on that. One is, until after World War II, basically, there were no antibiotics. So even a simple wound from something as inefficient as a 32 ACP could be deadly. The infection alone could kill you. Even if the bullet didn't, you might die. So getting a bullet wound was a much more serious event than it is today. No antibiotics, and you were easily contaminated from a bullet wound. And it wasn't the bullet that would cause the contamination, because the heat and going through the barrel and everything, it was too hot. Any bacteria died. It's the crud it took into your body when it went through your clothes and other things, and then pushed that into your skin. So the bits of cloth and fabric and other stuff you might be wearing goes into your body, and that's what caused the infection. The other thing is strength of materials. Material strength is much better now. Springs are better now. Engineering is better now. The capabilities to make more powerful guns in smaller sizes is far better now. I mean, let's face it, this Walther PPK and 32 ACP is a giant compared to say a Ruger LCP. So hang on and let's show a comparison. So to be fair, I took the extended magazine I normally have in my LCP out, and we'll just use the bottom of the grip as the size. But as you can see, the PPK is substantially higher starting from the bottom. You can see where the triggers don't line up, and you can see how much more forward it goes to if we have them in the back and then slide this up out of the way. And that goes from a 32 ACP to a 380. Now the advantages of the Walther PPK are many, so let's look at the advantages over something like the LCP. So why the LCP is a great little carry gun, and it is hammer fired, unlike most people think. It's not striker fired, it is hammer fired, like this. But the advantage here is we have a single action, double action pistol with a decocker. So if the hammer is back and you need to put it away safely back into your holster, it's double action, so you can decock it. You can leave the safety on if you want, or you can take the safety off. And now you're ready to go with the long double action being your safety. And that's a big advantage over like an LCP. This also means you get second strike capability. If the gun doesn't fire, you just pull the trigger again. The other advantage is you can manually cock the hammer if you want to take a very precise shot. There's a little take up on the trigger, then you hit a very nice wall, and it's a crisp break. It's a really good trigger. I mean, this gun is from 1941 and it still has a very good trigger. This gun is basically 83 years old. I have no idea how much ammo has gone through it. I don't think a lot. You can see there's a lot of holster wear on it. A lot of wear on the front strap because someone obviously held it and shot it a lot. And there's a bunch of marks around where the slide meets the frame and around the magazine release. Not sure why. And of course on the bottom, if you know how to disassemble a Walther, you understand why those scratches are on the bottom of the pistol. And we're not going to go into disassembling all that. There's far better videos than I can produce on that. So anyway, so that's the Walther PPK. Once again, this is the total setup that Delta Airlines bought me. And let me tell you that quick story. I was on a flight headed home from Minneapolis. Yeah, the flight was filled with tourists and they were overbooked. I was one of a handful of people who were locals to Alaska, so it didn't matter when we got back. And when they got up to $2,000 for me to wait 7 hours on a plane, I said sure. And so I took the bump, took the $2,000, bought some other stuff, and bought this nice rig, a collector's item, a genuine World War II Walther PPK, made in Germany with no import marks, all thanks to Delta Airlines. So, once again, this is your host Dave with Fortress Alaska, and as always, have a good day and get out shooting.